What's going on, guys? Welcome to the channel. Today's video is going to be day 4 of the mothership build. We're going to be finishing up this front deck and adding some cool new stuff to the back of the mothership. Check it out. What's up, guys? What you think about that new intro? I softened this one up a little bit. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. So today, if you remember in the last video, I forgot to buy the 10-foot board for the front to cap it off. We built the deck and we put the sides and stuff up, but I went ahead and got that 10-footer yesterday and I finished putting it on, and I ripped the last little decking board that had to be ripped to go in the front. Got it taken care of, didn't really film it, just got it done off camera so we can start this video, day 4, fresh, you know, on new things. We're going to do the rails, the back deck, the upper back deck part where we're going to put the table and we're going to carpet it. And also I bought the battery boxes for where we're going to be putting the batteries. We're going to get them mounted today. All right, so before we get started in today's video, I want to give a quick shout out to Jay Covallo. I believe that's how you say it. I hope I'm not butchering it, man. He joined the Patreon team with Kayak USA. Welcome to the Yak Squad, buddy. I appreciate your support. And if anybody else is interested, I'll put a link somewhere right in here to my Patreon page. You can check it out and go support the channel if you can. All right, so first I'm going to show you guys what we did last week. If you didn't watch day 3, shame on you. Go watch it and then come back and watch this one. I'm just kidding. We built the front deck on the mothership, and everything's buckled down really good. It's drying out really fast, so we might get to stain it a little bit quicker than I thought. But today we are going to add the side rails that's going to support the top. You know how the top's really flimsy now that I've got everything stripped off this boat. But this front piece turned out really good. I got the hook mounted back in the center here. I just took it off and re-bolted it back through the wood, and this is pretty solid. Let me get up here with you guys. I hope this camera's not too shaky, but everything's solid. This thing is going to be so fun to jump off of. I also bought some cleats. I bought 4 of these cleats, and we're going to, I hope the sun's not messing everything up. There's a weird shade out here right now. But I bought these little cheap black cleats, and what I'm thinking we're going to do is we're going to put them around the edges of the front. So something like this right here. And I've got 4. We're going to put one there, maybe one on the front 2 corners. I don't know. We'll figure it out once we get going. I'll probably wait till after everything's stained before we start putting the cleats and stuff down. But we should, once we get the cleats down like that, we should be able to just tie the kayaks off to the side, you know, when we're hanging out, and even running the trolling motor. We could keep the kayaks in the water just tied right to the side of the boat. I think it's going to be really cool. But I think the first thing we're going to do today is I'm going to cut the 2x4 post, and my plan is we're going to put 2x4 posts. You see how flimsy this is, right? Like, this is really flimsy. So I'm going to cut my 4x4. I keep saying 2x4. They're 4x4 posts. The 4x4 posts are going to run up flush with this, and then I'm going to put another piece of decking board straight down the front that's going to bolt into this. So this will be tied to the 4x4 post. Here goes sounds like a Harley. So this 4x4 is going to come up here. It's going to be flush with the top of this rail, and then I'm going to put a piece of decking board right down through here, and we're going to stain it all with the deck when we do it so it looks good. And I think I might even put some of those flag pole mounts right here so we can put us some American flags up and Kayak USA flags and stuff like that on the mothership. But its main purpose is going to be to sturdy up this, because this roof, I don't know if you know this or not, but this roof is going to hinge down when we're hauling the camper. You pull some pins out and the front is going to hinge up and down. I mean, hauling the camper. When we're hauling the boat down the highway, I'm not going to haul it with this roof up like this. We're going to fold it down and we're going to be able to strap it down. So I want these walls to be as structurally sound as possible. And that, you know, from the factory they were, because there were all these couches and benches and stuff that these walls were bolted to, but now they're all gone, so it's just really flimsy. And After we get that taken care of, we're going to move to the back, and we're going to be building a table platform. It's going to be carpeted to match this, and it's going to bolt straight to the top here. And there used to be like a big cushion pad here where people would sit, you know, when this pontoon boat was new, of course. There was a nice cushion there, but you've seen what it looked like when we bought it. It was just destroyed. So we're just going to build it into a nice table. So our propane tank's going to go in here, and you see the battery boxes that just kind of bought them and threw them in there yesterday. We're going to take them out and we're going to mount them in a good spot, and hopefully the propane tank will fit right in there next to them. And my plan is, I was going to cover this whole front wall with wood and carpet to match, but I got to thinking, if I put eventually I'm going to put a motor back here, and I want to be able to stand and lean against this wall and steer it through this hole. So I think I'm just going to leave this hole open and only build a wall here and carpet it, and maybe put a piano hinge here. So in order to get to our battery boxes and stuff, we'll just be able to, I'll put a latch or something right here today, and we should be able to just open this up to get into our propane tank and our batteries. And what's really going to be neat, I think, about this propane tank being in here, if we can get it to fit, I might have bought too big of a battery boxes. I might have to take those back, but hopefully we'll be able to get the propane tank to fit there. But what's really neat is these lines you see here, this used to be where the gas tank was. And let me see if I can get you guys out here. And you see, this is where the gas tank was. Well, this just opens now and just goes straight through out to here. So when we put our grill, you know, I've got one of those Coleman red grills that fold up and down. When we put our grill right here, we should be able to run our line out and over and straight through this gas tank filler, this old hole here, and we can keep this here without having to try to patch a big square and use this and just run our line straight through when we want to hook it to the propane tank. Maybe. I hope that works out. If it works out like that, that'd be really cool, because, you know, we're not going to be traveling with the grill back here anyway. We're going to take it on and off, and we can just unhook that line and pull the line into the little box in the back. So I think that'll be pretty cool. Well, enough talking about it. I guess we need to start doing it. I'm gonna put you guys on a chesty cam, I guess, first, or maybe the tripod. I don't know. I'm gonna figure that out as I go. But we'll start on the front. We're gonna cut the 4x4 post, get everything knocked out on the front, and then we'll jump back here to the back and start working on the table and the carpet. Let's do it. So what I'm thinking about the front is we're gonna put a 4x4 post right in the corner, and we're gonna attach it straight to the floor of the boat. And we want it flush with the top of this. And we got to remember that we can't have anything sticking out past this side, because when this hinges down, it's going to come straight down the side and it can't hit anything, or we won't be able, if there's something sticking out here, our roof arms or legs or whatever those are, when they come down, they're not going to be able to go no further, and they're going to get stuck right here. So we're going to put the 4x4 here on the inside of the floor and bring it up flush with this, and then maybe we'll be able to use these existing holes here to tie this rail in with a decking board that's also going to be screwed to this 4x4 post, and it should lock this wall into place and keep it square and sturdy. So the first thing I got to do is get an exact measurement of this height, which it looks like it's going to be just a fuzz over 27 inches, or right at 27. I think we're going to go, we're going to call that 27 inches. It should be the exact same on both sides, but we'll check and see. Yeah, 27 inches should be good. So I'll cut two posts, 4x4 posts at 27 inches, and I'm also going to have to get a Dremel out here. This is the old hinges where the gate used to open up right here. I'm going to have to hack those off and probably sand that down, because we got to be able to have a flush spot for us to mount that piece of decking board. So let's get it cut. Oh, we got the 4x4 cut, and I've got the decking boards cut, and I actually put a chesty cam on, filmed the whole thing, thought I filmed the whole thing, and then looked down and noticed that I was on picture mode instead of video mode. So just pretend right now that you've seen me cut all this wood. So here's my plan. Now that you can see it visually, we're gonna square this up. The 4x4 post is gonna be square with the floor, and we're going to bolt it straight down to the floor, and then we're going to add a piece of decking board. Now, it's not just for looks, because the decking board is going to tie into this, and then we're also going to put the screws in the 4x4 post that's going to square everything up. And then I'll probably come up here and take a sander and kind of smooth off the edges and turn them a little bit so it looks good. But that should work. I believe that's going to do pretty good on both sides, and it doesn't look too bad if I can prop them up. I got the other side propped up a little bit right now, but it's going to look kind of like that. I'll show you guys how it's going to look. So you can tell on camera, it'll look something like that, and then we're going to have the little flat area to put something on. I'm not sure what we're going to put there. I was thinking flag poles, so we could fly some flags kind of off to the side, but we'll figure something out. But I think it'll be pretty good, and it's going to really structure up the whole roof for us. And oh, well, you see that it just fell down there, but that's what we're going with. And I did get a Dremel and hacked off those little hinges I showed you a while ago. So now we're just going to, I'm gonna take a drill and we're gonna put 2 or 3 screws at an angle on these 4x4s straight down, and if I can, I'm going to get under the boat and try to bring a couple straight up through the bottom. But I think that's going to look pretty cool, especially once it's all stained and matching. And I'd like to get your guys' opinion on something. Let me get up here. So you see, once this is all together, from the top view, we're going to see it's going to look something like, I don't know, something like this. And I was thinking of adding a handrail. So if we added a handrail out of deck, it would look something like this. If I can do this without making it fall. But the handrail would look something like this, and we could run it, and I could add a couple of more 4x4 posts along the way, and I could run it all the way to here, to where this door, I want to be able to keep this door so we can use it to get it on and off of the boat. But we could put probably another 4x4 post here and run that decking board all the way down as kind of an armrest. And I think if we were to do that and we added a couple of more 4x4 posts in the middle, you know, kind of even the spacing out, and we did the same thing to both sides, on the 4x4 posts that were going up and down, we could actually probably add some type of J-hook so the kayaks could mount on their side against that wall. And I think that would be pretty structurally sound, you know, to hold those there, especially in transit, and maybe even be able to still close this top down. I don't know, I think it'd be pretty cool. And on top of all that, if we did this handrail, if you guys like it, we'll do it. But if we did this handrail, they sell these cup holders or whatever, and you cut a circle out on your board and they drop down in there, and we could add a couple of cup holders on the handrails on the way down, and where it met up here with the front, it would kind of, it would look a lot better, I think, right there. But I don't have the material to do that today, so today we're just going to do the front. And I also wanted to get your guys' opinion on what you think. The downside to doing this is it's going to take that much space off of each side of our open floor, which is not a lot, I know, but it will shrink it by 5.5 inches off both sides. That's 11 inches off of this 8-foot wide platform that we're going to be losing. We're not going to be losing it all. We'll still be able to do stuff on these sides, but is it worth it? What do you guys think? Let me know. The handrail going down the side, the pros and the cons, what you think. Should we do it? Let me know. But for now, we're just going to go ahead and get these 4x4 posts anchored and these facer boards put on so we can move to the back of the boat. All right, so we got the 4x4s in, the facer boards in, and this is what they look like. think it turned out really good. They're flush with the edge here. The other side there. And I think that looks really good. So if we end up putting the cap up here, it's gonna run straight down that line there. And we'll put the board something, you know, something like right in here if we do the handrails. You guys let me know what you think. If we're gonna do them, I need to do them soon, probably in the next video, so we can stain everything at the same time. But I think that would be very cool to have the handrails, but at the same time we're gonna lose that little bit of extra space there, which is, it's not much, but it's enough to bother you, I guess, or bother me, I don't know. But well, this is sturdy now. There's still a little wobble, but that's in the back area. There's no wobble up where these are. Can't wait to be able to walk up here and hop into a kayak and just take off. The front's done. It is now time. I've got a mess up here now. Look at this. And looky there. The leaves are falling. I've already took the leaf blower out and I've blown leaves out of this boat like 2 or 3 times today already because they're just falling. A while ago I was walking down through the woods back here with the dogs and a good breeze came through, and man, it was like raining leaves. I love that. I hate the fact that it's like 98 degrees out here right now though. It's really killing the fall feeling. Alright, so I went ahead and took this hinge off because I had to use a sawzall to get it. The screws were just, I mean, you see how bad these screws were. I had to hack them off with a sawzall. But I got it off. We got a nice flat spot here. And now we're just gonna take measurements. And we are at 63.5 by, and it's gonna go against this wall. 63.5 by 21. 63.5 by 21. All right. The way that I'm going to get this curve back here, because you see, you know, if I'm going to cut the 63.5 out, but to get the curve on the back, there used to be this piece here, and I may end up reusing this on top of what we build today. But I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to get the curve. So this matches on the outside of this, perfect, almost perfect, good enough, all the way around. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the 63.5 by 21 rectangle, and then I'm going to go to the side and set this on the board, flush up this edge here, and then flush up that edge, and then trace that curve out and use a jigsaw and cut that out. And then we should be able to carpet it and lay the board up here, screw it down to these existing little flat places where the old one was bolted down, and be good to go. Check that out, with carpet. Then we're gonna have a door there, carpeted, that opens up to our batteries, our propane tank, and eventually we'll also have our like inverters and stuff in there, so when we're running lights. And I'm gonna figure out where we're gonna put all of our toggle switches for lights, radios, stuff like that. Nice, I like it, I like it. And this should be very sturdy too. Once this thing is carpeted and bolted down, you should be able to jump off that thing if we wanted to, which I'm sure it'll happen. Awesome, I'm happy with that. Now before we carpet that, we're going to go ahead and cut out the front door, find the hinge we're going to need, And after all the wood is cut and ready to go on, we'll lay carpet in the inside, we'll carpet the door, carpet the top, start installing. All right, and just like that, it is Sunday morning. I know I just ended this by cutting the top of this table out. I checked and seen what time it was, and it was like almost kickoff, so I had to call it quits yesterday. But it's Sunday morning, it's early, it's like 7:30 in the morning. It's gonna be another great day, and we're gonna be able to finish this up without being in a rush. I'm gonna make sure we do all of this in this video. So yesterday we finished off, we got the top cut. I've just got this sitting up there because we got to figure out if we're going to use it up there or not. It looks kind of cool, but it also looks cool without it. Once it's carpeted, we'll be able to tell. But we've got this cut. It looks good. Now we're going to move on to this bottom door here. We're going to cut this square out, and I'm going to put the hinge here, and I'm going to try to reuse. I almost destroyed this piano hinge, but I'll be cutting it down anyway. But I think we can use a hinge here and have it on the inside so we can open this way. And if we do it like that, we're going to be measuring instead of all the way to the wall, because if we measure to the wall, the door is not going to open, it's going to hit this. But we can measure from here all the way to the edge of this and put that piano hinge on the inside against this, so that all we're going to see is like the outside of this piano hinge sticking out past the wood here. And we'll carpet it, and we should be able to swing it open and get to our batteries and our propane tank and anything else that we have in here. And we'll also be able to shut it and put some sort of a latch there. So what we're going to do this morning, first thing, is we're going to get the measurement for this door. We're going to go down and get it cut. Alright, so now that we got the little carpet montage out of the way, we can see if these things are going to fit like we wanted. So let's put the top one on first. Ooh, this thing looks really good. It fits perfect. Look at that. I'll give you guys a closer look. So we got the curves going straight around. It's got a good curve. No wrinkles in the carpet. I think it's gonna be really good. It's gonna be a really cool, like, just surface to have, like to cook on, eat, you know, whatever we gotta. We just have a table in the back. I think that's gonna be really cool. So before we do any screwing down, bolting anything down, we're gonna check the door that we just done also. Let's sit you back up. And let's see if the door is gonna work. What's really cool about this door is I gotta clean it up, but there were several like piano hinges left over from where we demolished it, and you know, I saved everything that I could. And I think that this piano hinge is gonna fit perfect, and we're not even gonna have to cut it down. We're gonna screw it straight to that, straight to the back of this door, and we should be able to open it up. Let's make sure we're still good on the fit though. you think? Looks pretty good. We'll figure out after we get everything screwed down, get the hinge on where we can open it, we'll figure out how we're gonna put the latch right there, and if we're gonna want to put one that locks or not. It might be smart to put one that locks just in case, you know, somebody don't want to steal the batteries out of the boat or something like that. So, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Let's go ahead and get the top bolted down. Oh yeah, and also, I think, all right, so you see what it looks like without that little rail. And here's the little rail again. It needs to be cleaned up. But, what do you think? If we was to put this up here, yay or nay? It just gives a little back, I don't know, a little back wall so stuff won't fall off. I like it either way. I kind of like the flat top too. I don't know. We're going to leave it off for now. We're going to go ahead and bolt this down. And y'all drop a comment. Let me know. Let me know what you think. If you think that we should put this back there, I don't know. We're building this thing together, so I'd love y'all's input. And I broke the tip off my drill bit. Look at that. Not my drill bit, but my Phillips head. Now let me go get another one. Yeah, I know. I should have a dust mask on. I could have done better, but it's hot and it's going to be on the inside of the battery and propane storage, and I don't really care, to be honest. Not too bad. We got a little gap up there and a little gap in the corner, but once everything's in here, we'll never know. Never know. Alright, I actually just went and stole this off the front of our camper. Ugh. This thing is full too. And of course, once we get this in a spot, I'm going to add a way for us to strap this down so it'll actually lock into position. I'm just hoping we can get this in here and fit those two big old battery boxes. I think it's going to be tight. The battery boxes I bought are from 24 to a 31 group, which the 31 is the longer one. I could have just gotten the 24 and it would have been probably $1 cheaper for the box. But I was thinking if I can get these to fit, I can eventually go with the big batteries for the trolling motor, especially since we're not going to be putting a gas motor on this pontoon boat for a long time, if ever. And this has the little dividers in there, so whichever length battery you get, you can actually put these dividers in there. If you've got a small one and a big one, you can adjust them. But I believe we're going to have just enough room to put two battery boxes in here. And if I have to, I can cut a handle off the side. Like right now the handle's touching that. Maybe we can put them in there like this. That might be better. And the only reason they're squished right now is because of the little straps. But we don't have to have those straps. So what do you think? Maybe I kind of like that better. And we could separate the batteries out a little bit, use the straps, strap them down. I don't think we can use the lids. We might still be able to use the lids. Looks like that one's going to be in the way, which I don't ever use the lids on these anyway on a boat because I like to be able to just get to my connections. What do you think? I think that's going to work out pretty good. Get these out of the way. Whew, it is hot out here, but I was thinking earlier that that's going to be freaking awesome right there. Batteries, propane tank, everything's out of the way, out of the weather, kept safe. We'll be able to put a locking latch right here. Maybe something that just put a padlock on or something right there. Or maybe the ones that take the key and I can just put the key on my keychain. That's gonna be awesome. But what I was thinking today is, you know, I've got the Coleman grill and I'm gonna set it up here and set everything up. And we're also gonna bring the kayak up here today and start getting a good look at where we're gonna be mounting this kayak, or the kayaks, like my kayak and your guys' kayak, because I plan on doing subscriber trips on this boat. You know, me and 3 of you guys, once we're finished and the weather's good enough, you know, where we're not sweating in the, you know, at night or freezing at night. Once we get that ideal spot and the boat's complete, we'll do a subscriber trip and go park this thing out in the middle of a lake on the mountain and camp right on it, fish right on it. But before we can do that, and before we can technically call this a mothership, we got to make sure that we got spots to mount kayaks. You know, my kayak and extra kayaks that are going with me. And what I'm thinking is, if we go with the handrails like I talked at the beginning of the video, we can put some sort of J-hooks on them. But I don't want the J-hooks to be permanently sticking out, so we'd have to try to figure out maybe a hinge. You guys know of a hinge J-hook that maybe we could swing out and then swing back in? Or I don't know, we'll figure it out. But now that this is complete, oh yeah, I know what I was fixing to say. I'm gonna bring the Coleman grill up, and my plan is to just use the Coleman grill right here and just run the hose, you know, the line straight in there to the propane tank. But how cool would it be if I've got one of those grills without the legs that we could mount right here on top of this, and the gas line just come off straight and go into there, and maybe we can put something else here like our Yeti cooler, or, you know, something we could throw right here to keep off of our big part of the boat. I think that'd be really cool. But this worked out really good. I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna clean everything up and we're gonna get a good view real quick before we end the video of what we got accomplished today. Day 4 is almost in the books. Alright guys, that is going to do it for this video. We got day 4 in the books. Remember, the next video, we're going to probably add the handrails. It's up to you guys. Just make sure you let me know in the comment section of this video what you think about the handrails. You know, we went over the pros and the cons about, you know, we're going to lose a little bit of space, but as you can see, that little bit of space is kind of handy whenever you got the kayak up on the boat like this, because it kind of takes up that space. But it will also serve a good purpose if we add them, adding more stability to this roof and to the overall, you know, structural sound of the boat. Adding those 4x4 posts and that handrail would help out a lot, and we can add the cup holders and stuff like that. Let me know in the comment section if you think we should go with it. I'm gonna wait to stain this deck. I did get the Thompson's water sealer and I got like a cedar stain. I think it's gonna look really good. But I'm gonna wait because I want to make sure all the wood is done. So if we're doing the handrails, I want to be able to stain them at the same time that we stain the deck, so we'll go with that. Also, let me know what you think about the little rail on the back. I got it sitting up there right now. It's not bolted down, you know, we talked about it earlier. But I don't know, I laid it up there and I took some pictures a while ago and it's kind of starting to grow on me. I kind of like that up there. It makes it look like this was kind of built with the boat, that I didn't just add this stuff on. I'm glad we was able to knock out the hinge today. We got the door, we just got to add us the last, or latch, whatever you want to call it. And we got to go ahead and anchor everything down. But I think everything turned out really good in this video. So the next video we're going to be doing hopefully a little bit of wiring, and probably video number 6. This is 4, so the next one will be 5, and we'll probably be doing some wiring and lighting. But then video 6, we got to start working on the trailer, because I think we're gonna have to add like an ATV winch to the trailer, because we're not gonna have a gas motor to push this thing on and off the trailer. So a winch on the front would be really handy, so we could just hit a button, hook it to the front of the boat, and pull it up on the trailer without having to have a gas motor to push it up on the trailer. So we'll definitely be working on the trailer here soon. But first we got to knock out the boat. We got to get us our spots to hang the kayaks when we're taking them off. As you can see, we still got plenty of room with just old Nemo sitting up there. I thought about adding the other kayak to the other side, but I wanted to get some good pictures of Nemo up here first. Day 4 of the mothership build is in the books. I'm happy with it. So make sure, if you're new to my channel and this is the first build you've seen of the mothership, go back and watch the other ones. You can see what this thing looked like when we first got it, and I'm gonna tell you, it was a mess. It sat for years and years and years, dry rotted. Me and my wife had to strip it and pressure wash it. And this was just about a month or 2 ago, right? I think, guys, like a month, maybe a month and a half ago, something like that. But it's came a long way. We've got a long way to go still, but I think by the time good weather gets here, we're gonna be able to take this thing out on its first maiden voyage and do some camping on it. I think it's gonna be really cool. All right, I'm gonna end it right here and quit talking. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up on this video if you liked it. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. Check out my other videos. If you're interested in becoming a Patreon for my page, I'm gonna put links to that in the video description of this video. Check it out, and I will catch you guys next time.